The woman had already been trapped in the desert for a week. Just as she was about to despair, she suddenly noticed something in the distance. She quickly packed up her belongings. This was the only chance for rescue she had encountered in days. But when she finally arrived, she discovered it was a car that had already overturned. The moment she opened the car door, she was terrified. It turned out to be her husband who had come to pick her up. Just as she was heartbroken, suddenly a sound came from the back of the car. She went over to check, and found it was her injured daughter. She hurriedly set up a simple tent, and tried to wake her daughter. It turned out that her husband had brought their daughter to pick her up, but on the way, they encountered two bad men, who were killing wild animals. The husband wanted to confront them, but was pushed aside by the bad men. Seeing that they were strong and powerful, he quickly returned to the car, hoping to leave. But he never expected that one of the bad men would immediately raise a gun and aim at him. The man was shot dead, but the daughter was discovered by her mother. Just as the girl's condition began to improve, they suddenly heard the roar of a car engine in the distance. The girl picked up the binoculars, and discovered it was actually those two bad men. They quickly took down the tent, swept away their footprints, and hid behind a mound of earth. It turned out the two bad men, afraid of being exposed, had deliberately come back to destroy the evidence. They buried the man's body, and then set the car on fire. After the bad men left, the woman buried her husband and placed a stone marker, so she could find the spot later. Then she took her daughter and prepared to leave the desert. As they walked, they carefully erased the footprints behind them, to avoid being tracked by the bad men. The next morning, when the woman woke up, she suddenly discovered her daughter was gone. She quickly got up to search, only to find her daughter approaching a campsite. The woman didn't dare to act rashly and had to watch from afar. The girl walked in, and asked the men in the camp for help, saying that her mother was nearby. To her surprise, the man not only gave her fresh water, but also promised to take them out of the desert. Suddenly, a pickup truck drove into the camp. The girl was terrified, because these two men were the very killers who had murdered her father.